Welcome to BBC School News Report from Abbey, Grange, Leeds. I'm Daniel.
And I'm James. Here are the top stories.
According to Place to Be and the National Association of Head Teachers, there are 1 in 5 children under the age of 11 who are diagnosed with mental health problems.
And now we go to our school reporter Mansour to explore the issue of mental health funding within schools.
Hello and welcome to BBC News School Report. I'm Mansour and we are live at Abbey Grange. Today we'll be reporting on the missing NHS child mental health funds. Also, how schools affecting child mental health. Today we will be interviewing a teacher who specialises in modern society and its health and asking different people their views on mental health.
More than 850,000 children in the UK have been diagnosed with mental health.
I think there'll always be people who've got mental health problems. So in that sense, no. I mean, human beings are faulty from time to time. Things go wrong. All the while we've got brains and I think we're always going to have mental health problems, I'm afraid. So yeah, no, never be completely resolved, never.
The mental health services suspect that the funds have been used to support others.
What do you think about the missing fund, about the child mental health?
It's a problem. There isn't enough funding for mental health issues, particularly with young people. It's all too easy as well. I think there was a report out this week about young people and drugs. It's cheaper and easier to give a young person a tablet or a drug for depression.
I think school can affect mental health quite a lot, really, because of the stress that's put on students and just like the amount of pressure that we have to work under. So like GCSE exams, A-level exams, things like that, that can like cause mental health issues for students. I think that if teachers in school didn't make you think that your GCSEs are the end of your life as much as they do, so like they put so much pressure on you that like 11 years of your life has been working up to that 1 hour in the hall.
What are your views on child mental health?
Well, my personal views feel like that, especially exam students, put under too much stress for their young age.
Mental health. Well, I think they push us too much to get better grades than what we're getting already.
Some people believe pressure causes it. Others think it's antidepressants that are prescribed that have an impact on child health. With all the issues surrounding child mental health problems, how will this impact future generations? And what can we do to help give the support people need in modern society? This is Mansour reporting for BBC.
North Korea's weapon testing has recently come under criticism once again.
And now over to my report, which I filmed earlier. I'm James. And for today's news, we'll be talking about the North Korean weaponry. North Korea has been said to have been making and testing nuclear weapons, earlier firing 2 into the sea. Kim Jong-un said they may use these nuclear weapons against us. There is a possibility that North Korea might be threatening the US with these weaponry. We are now going to pass over to Godwin to get some views from the map.
That the making and testing of nuclear weapons should not be allowed. While on the other hand, many people also believe that if the nuclear weapons are not used to harm anybody, they should therefore be allowed.
I think that even if they do have weaponry, I do not think that they'll fire them on America. There has been issues, but there haven't been enough to start something as big as a nuclear war or a nuclear attack.
North Korea's nuclear weaponry.
My opinion is that I think it's rather unlikely that the UK will be affected by the nuclear bombing. However, I think the USA and South Korea are at risk.
This is similar to the Trident situations which are happening in Britain, where people are deciding to spend money on nuclear weapons or not to.
There has been lots of controversy with the following subject, but we can't make a judgment just yet. We'll have to wait and see. Reporter James signing off. Back to the studio with Daniel. Did you watch the Oscars this year, Daniel?
Yeah, I did, but the Oscars have recently come under scrutiny over the lack of diversity in their nominees.
Here is Ginny talking about diversity in our schools.
This year's award season, with the Oscars and the Brits being under fire for their lack of racial diversity, we investigated the ethnic diversity of teachers and students at our high school.
Well, diversity is crucial at Abbey Grange. We achieved the Stephen Lawrence Award at level 3 2 years ago now, and we received the Bronze Award level 3, and we were the first school in the city to achieve the award at that level. Nearly 40% of our cohort of students come from ethnic minority backgrounds, and for me that's one of the reasons why my children will hopefully come to Abbey Grange. There is a real a diverse mix of students, but what is crucial is that they all get on, they mix effectively.
Yeah, I think race diversity is a problem in school because some ethnic minorities or ethnic children in the school may not have like a role model. They may feel like they lack role models, ethnic role models in school. Personally, I may feel that I could speak to like an ethnic person rather than a non-ethnic person in not a rude way, but because they come from the same background as me.
People have seen the Oscars as lacking in race diversity. These are some people's thoughts.
Into ethnic diversity, I don't think it's fair that no black actors were nominated at the Oscars and no black actors won.
Thank you. Back to you, Daniel and James.
James, are you a cat person or a dog person?
Well, Daniel, I'm more of a dog person to say so. What about yourself?
Same. Recently, cat owners in South London have been on alert.
Here's Elisha to tell us more.
In the past 3 years, over 60 decapitated and butchered pets have been found in the Croydon area.
However, in recent weeks, this number and the severity of the attacks has increased, leading to celebrities such as Martin Clune speaking out about taking action on this attacker.
Recently in Guiseley there have been attacks on dogs as well.
I find it very disturbing more than anything. I have no idea why people would want to hurt any animals. I hope it isn't the start of a new trend. I hope that really, you know, being a dog owner, that these people have got it wrong and that their dogs have got ill for another reason.
Companies such as the RSPCA believe that cats are being run down and they're being mutilated, but sadly these attacks on our pets are not rare.
I feel that the killings are vicious and cruel and that the killer should be brought to justice.
I think that Croydon cat killings are a sick act by some sick person who clearly doesn't like animals and is expressing it by murdering others' pets.
Well, as I'm not a keen cat person, it doesn't really bother me that much, and I don't think it's as important enough for them to investigate on this case as there's more important things happening in the world today.
The police now ask for any information or evidence found of the attacks, as well as a £5,000 reward for information leading to the arrest. Despite efforts from the police, the killer is still on the loose and pets are still in danger.
This is Elisha reporting from Abbey Grange Academy on the Croydon cat killings.
Since 1969, there have been unusual noises on the far side of the moon.
School reporter Amy is here to tell us more.
For the first time ever, the tape from the Apollo 10 lunar orbit mission has been released. The three NASA astronauts audio-taped the mission to hear bizarre music once they'd reached the far side of the moon in 1969. The noises were recorded and sent back to Mission Control in Houston, Texas. Thomas Stafford, John Young, and Eugene Cernan were aboard Apollo 10 at the time. A NASA engineer has said that radio interference was probably to blame for the questioning sounds, but not all astronauts are convinced. Now over to Samira with the latest questions and answers.
Very interesting. The idea of something being eerie is quite a subjective thing, isn't it? What's scary for some person might not be scary for another.
Yeah.
Perhaps another word might be just strange noises. I think it's interesting that they've decided to put the word eerie or ghostly next to these noises, because they're not necessarily eerie or ghostly at all, they're just a bit unusual. What they seem to be caused by is radio waves that are naturally produced by all sorts of things in the universe, and we've picked up those radio waves and converted them into sound waves, and when we do that, it sounds very strange to us. I shouldn't imagine it's anything to do with alien activity. There's an organisation called SETI, the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, that for many years now have been looking for signs of aliens, and they've been analysing these radio waves from space, looking to try and find patterns with them. But so far, after more than a decade of searching, they've not found anything.
Alright, fabulous. Thank you for your time.
The audio tape was released on the 12th of February 2016. The reason for the delay was due to NASA believing that the radio interference was to blame. Now we have a religious belief on these strange sounds and how it differs from the scientific reasoning.
I think these noises on the moon, the only answer for them can be God. Why else would noise come in silence, a place where there is nothing?
Okay. The reason why I think it is God is because God wants to communicate with people in weird and wonderful ways. And often a miracle is an unexplained event, and the only explanation for this could be God.
Known as the sixth member of the Beatles, Sir George Martin produced some of the most well-known music in the 1960s.
Now to Daniel to tell us more.
On the 8th of March, in his home in London, he died at the age of 90, surrounded by his friends and family.
Obviously, I'm sad that anyone dies, but he's had a really good life, interesting life, and he's got a body of work that live on after him. And being 90 years of age, he's had really nice innings, really.
Leaving a legacy is maybe perhaps on that scale is not something most people do. And the fact that he's died at 90, I think, can leave anyone who likes the Beatles or even likes music as a whole, you know, can feel that he's had a really fulfilled life.
Open up a retrospective look at the music of George Martin helped the Beatles create, and maybe younger musicians will cover them in different ways. So he probably will spark some interest, because when people die, people do listen to their music again and appreciate it.
But I know that he came from quite a working class background, he did really well, and I know how highly regarded he was by people in music.
When I was born, it was 1950s, the mid-50s, so obviously I grew up with the Beatles, because being from Liverpool, they were like heroes back in the 60s in their hometown. So Beatles music was a big part of my childhood and growing up into adolescence. So the Fab Four were a big part of everyone's life then.
My name is Miss Mitchell. My favourite Beatles song is Come Together, because I think it's got a really great bass line.
And my favourite Beatles song is The Yellow Submarine.
Hi, I'm Kezia and my favourite Beatles song is Twisted Sister.
Something that a George Harrison song, but I could have given you 20 different ones.
My name is Izzy and my favourite Beatles song is Hey Jude.
My name is Ginny and my favourite Beatles song is Strawberry Fields Forever.
My favourite Beatles song is Hey Jude because I find it a really catchy tune to listen to.
Sir George Martin helped the Beatles achieve global success after hearing their demo tape in 1962. He worked with the Beatles while they were at the height of their success and were awarded 2 Ivor Novello Awards and 6 Grammys throughout their career.
With Manchester United set to take on Liverpool, manager Louis van Gaal is under huge pressure to secure his side wins.
We now go to Joe to get further information about this report.
Manchester United manager Louis van Gaal will be sacked.
This is Mr. Charles. He's a long-life Liverpool fan and has been a coach for numerous of years.
I think in the short term it'd be stupid to sack him, because it just send the club into confusion in March time. But his long-term future obviously is up to doubt. So maybe they should just wait for the summer and see what happens.
Manchester United are very well known for their youth system and their academy. Now, Marcus Rashford scored 4 goals in 2 senior games. So what do you think about Manchester United's youth system?
There's been some complaints from football that I've read that they don't use the youngsters like Ferguson used to. But obviously with the injury crisis they've had, then it's obviously forced their hand to play more youthful players.
So Manchester United are currently in a Europa League spot in the Barclays Premier League. Is that a concern for a club like Manchester United who should be competing for a Champions League spot?
I think for a year, it wouldn't be much of a blip because they're a massive club commercially, and around the world they've got lots of massive fan base, and obviously it wouldn't hurt their fortunes, say a year or whatever. But in the long term, it obviously hits their image if they're not in the Champions League for 3 or 4 years. But I think they could stand the hit of 1 year, just because they're so big.
So Manchester United are playing Liverpool in the Europa League tonight. Can we have a quick score prediction?
Obviously, being a Liverpool supporter, I think it'd be a close game, but I think Liverpool might win 2-1 because both defences are not great, so they probably let in a goal each. So my prediction would be both teams to score, Liverpool to win by 1 goal.
Thanks. Do you think Louis van Gaal should stay at Manchester United or be sacked by the club's executive, Ed Woodward?
Personally, even though I am a Man United fan, and Man U aren't doing the best at the moment, I think Van Gaal should stay, as he is very exciting and buys players all the time.
Louis van Gaal should get sacked because he's made no difference in the team except from giving Man United a bad reputation. In December, they never won a game, and I think that Jose Mourinho should really take over because he'll make a good difference and keep their record high. Manchester United have won 6 out of their last 10 games. Can this run get better? Daniel, BBC News, School Report. Thank you for watching our BBC School News Report from Abbey Grange Academy. I'm Daniel.
And I'm James. Goodbye. School News Report signing out.